Figure it out.
Hello, this is Adam Koralik with Figure It Out Productions. The following video is part of our Quick Shoot series.
Hey guys, it's Adam here. Recently I did a series of videos about the Xbox One, the Wii U, and the PS4, basically how they've been doing over the course of a year or 2 years is the case with the Wii U. And this is kind of like a small little mini follow-up to that. A lot of people were asking me, like, there's obviously newer games out now, and do you have any other last-minute recommendations before Christmas? And so, you know what, I thought I'll take the time and I will actually do that. So what I've done here is I picked out 3 games for each one of the 3 consoles that are relatively recent that I might recommend this holiday season. Now, keep in mind, I'm not sitting here saying, these are the 3 best games on each console. I'm not doing that. We're only including games that came out over the last couple of months, and just ones I think, this one might be worth your time. So if you don't see a particular game, it's not because I was like, fuck that game. It was just because I just decided it wasn't recent enough, and, I got any number of reasons. So I'm assuming you understand, so let's move on. First up, the Xbox One, represented here by, of course, its controller and 3 games. The first one I might recommend, which I talked about briefly in that previous video, was Sunset Overdrive. Now, this is Microsoft's big exclusive for the holiday season. They originally came out at $60, and they've been dropping it a lot at like 50, 40, now some places 30. Actually, I think on December 20th through December 24th, in the United States at Target and Best Buy. I'm sorry, the rest of the world, I don't think this necessarily applies to you, but maybe you have your own regional deals. Sunset Overdrive will be like $25, maybe even 20 in some places. And this is a really fun game. This is like, it's a very open world, high octane type of game. If I had to describe it, I'd say it's like Dead Rising 3 meets Jet Grind Radio. It actually, someone pointed out that this game, it very much feels like something Sega would have made back in their heyday, probably because of the Jet Grind Radio type of vibe, and I'm pretty inclined to agree with that. I think this is a pretty cool game, and if you have an Xbox One or thinking about getting an Xbox One, this would probably be, of all the holiday games out there right now, this would probably be the one I would recommend the most. Next up, is probably no shocker to anyone, is the Halo Master Chief Collection. Now, I've never really been the biggest Halo fan. I'm not saying I dislike Halo. I've never disliked Halo. A lot of people shit their pants over Halo, and that's fine. It's good to have passion about things. I have passion about my own things, but Halo, I never felt that way about it. I just thought it was like a fun first-person shooting game series. And with that in mind, this is a pretty good deal here. This is, I'm sure most of you already know this, but this one gives you Halo, the Anniversary Collection, Halo 2, Halo 3, and Halo 4. So you get all 4 Halo games on one compilation. They're totally remastered for the Xbox One, some more so than others. But you also have the option at any given time, you can switch over and play them the way they looked originally, so you can kind of get, we got the Star Wars Special Editions, and we have the original editions. That's kind of what this is, all in one. The online player aspect of it apparently was horrendously botched, though over time apparently it's been fixed and updated. This game has a 15 gigabyte update patch day 1 as soon as you turn it on, so be aware of that, because that'll probably eat up the most of your day, if not a few days, trying to download that patch depending on your internet connection. But once you get past all that bullshit, it's a very good compilation that I would recommend if you enjoy the Halo games, and it's a pretty good deal. It's also one that it came out at $60, but again, it's one of their big things they're pushing. So I've seen it down for like 40, in some places. Again, I think Best Buy is going to be selling this for like 45 in the same time span of the 20th through the 24th. That's like almost the second version of Black Friday in the US. They just want to push as much inventory before Christmas as possible. So this might be one worth thinking about. Killer Instinct. Now this kind of breaks the rule a little bit because, of course, this was a launch title, but in digital form. The physical release only came out, I think it was a few months ago, and the only real reason I brought it up is because it's an exclusive title and it's kind of interesting. It was also super cheap. Everyone was selling this for like $15. That's how much I got it for on Amazon. And I think that's how much it's going to be, again, in this little second version of Black Friday that's coming up. There may be, I might also say, though, that you should wait on this. I mean, it's a fighting game. It's a fun fighting game based on the series that Rare made back in the Super Nintendo N64 era. But I might recommend waiting on it only because this is what they call Season 1 of the game, and I guess there's a Season 2 which has all new characters and different levels. There's probably going to be some sort of ultimate compilation disc at some point, but given the price tag, I thought, what the hell, I would pick it up now, and if there's a Season 2 release, get that later, I don't know. But there you go, it's worth noting that exclusive. Moving on to the Wii U here. The first one I want to show you, of course, is one I'm sure all of you are aware of, Super Smash Bros. Wii U, which is a rarity these days. This is a traditional system seller, a game that people really want. They don't care much about the hardware, but they're like, screw it, I will go out and buy the console just for that game. There are much less of those now than there used to be. But this is one of them. And it's a very well-made game. I think everybody knows that. And Nintendo really went all out on this, getting so many extra characters, having so many extra features and functions and modes, including stuff I wasn't even aware was going to be a thing, like the fact that you can use the 3DS as a controller in this game, kind of replacing the gamepad in essence, which is kind of cool. It has features that we did know about, like this. This is the unfortunately very rare now GameCube controller adapter. So far only useful on this game. According to the box of this thing, it might actually support future titles. We don't know. However, it seems Nintendo isn't going to be doing a second run of these, or at least hasn't yet, and it doesn't sound like they're going to. Not sure why. But yeah, this is now a very rare piece of merch. And I feel bad for everyone because I kept saying, go pre-order it, because it was like 20 bucks and a lot of people didn't bother. Now they're like over $100 on eBay, so sorry guys. But yeah, if you do have one, it's a really cool way to play this game, and this is a highly recommended title, but I think a lot of you know that. One that some people probably have kind of slept on for a very specific reason. This is the NES Remix Pack. Now, this was a digital version of NES Remix, was probably the most picked Club Nintendo reward last year. I know, because I redeemed it. I don't even support digital content, but Nintendo didn't give anybody physical options. They just only had digital stuff, and that was like, alright, the most intriguing thing since I had to pick something. Now that release is worthless because of this, but this is actually a pretty good deal. This is, a lot of people look at this and just assume it's like a compilation disc of old NES games, which it kind of is, and then it isn't. So on the back it shows you that you have NES Remix and NES Remix 2. Now NES Remix is the one they gave away on Club Nintendo. And what that had is like 10 or so like original NES games, and you think, okay, great, I could play original NES games any number of ways, which is definitely true, you can. But they didn't just do that. They actually went out and changed up the games. You can play the original version, but they also have like new modes, new levels, new experiences, new goals, etc. For example, if you want, you can play the original Super Mario Brothers as Luigi. You just can. Or they added like new missions, like, all right, in this mission, on this level, we put, you know, like 168 coins, as it says on the artwork there. We put 168 coins, go into the map, and find them all. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they just added new missions, new objectives, and new goals for the games to experience them a different way, hence a remix of the original games. But then they also added NES Remix 2, which has like another series of 10 games. So it's a pretty good deal. And on top of that, it's only 30 bucks from the get-go. So this is one I would recommend just because of, you know, if you liked the NES, this is definitely something cool to kind of replay that, but also change it up. And there you go. And finally, for the Wii U, Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. This is one that I didn't have much interest in at first. I was just kind of pre-ordering it just because I wanted to support Nintendo for coming up with something kind of cool. Turns out the story behind this game is that there was a guy who worked at Nintendo who pitched this idea years ago, and people thought he was talking about like toys. Like, for some reason, there's a miscommunication. And he finally got them to include like part of it in Super Mario 3D World for the Wii U, and that segment ended up being so popular that Nintendo decided to offshoot it and let it be its own game. They clearly did not anticipate it succeeding anywhere near as well as it did. It's actually been, I don't want to say it rivaled the success of Super Smash Bros. Because it didn't, but it has sold extremely well. It's actually kind of hard to find this game right now. Amazon at this time is actually sold out, at least at the time I make the video. There's third-party sellers that have it, but Amazon officially doesn't have any copies in stock, again, as of the time I make this video. Yeah, it's a pretty neat game. It's a puzzle game of sorts where you walk around as Toad and you have to like unlock things and just complete the level. That's the best way to put it. I haven't actually gotten a chance to play it as much as I want because my girlfriend is persistently playing it, and you know, when I'm like, hey, can I try? She's like, no. And I'm like, all right. You know, because she's really, really liking the game. So yeah, Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, definitely a cool one to keep an eye out for, and of course, totally an exclusive game. Now, onto the PlayStation 4. Some recommendations I might make for you is, first off is Little Big Planet 3. This is an exclusive title, of course. It's also, well, sort of, it's on the PlayStation 3 as well, but that's also Sony's platform. This is the Day 1 edition, which is kind of funny that Sony stole that because that's, you know, really Microsoft's thing with the Day 1 thing. But, yeah, no, this is actually the Day 1 Target plushie edition. I don't have it out here, but there's like a bigger box it came with, and it comes with a little plushie Sackboy figure, and has a little Target hat, like he's an employee there, which he must have fallen on hard times. He had his own video game series, now he has to work at Target. I'm not knocking anybody who works at Target, just kidding. But, yeah, no, it's a fun game. If you like the Little Big Planet series, it's basically more of the same, but bigger and more badass because, you know, it's using the power of the PS4. But, there's not a whole lot of exclusive titles, at least that I noticed, on the PS4 this holiday season. this seems to be just about the only one. If I'm missing one, please correct me, but that was the only one I really noticed. The other ones I picked up were games that I thought were just better on that console for any number of reasons. For example, Alien Isolation Nostromo Edition. This was a little confusing when this came out. There was Alien Isolation and there was Alien Isolation Nostromo Edition. And the only difference was the Nostromo Edition had an extra mission on it where you can play as Ellen Ripley or Dallas or Parker in an expendable crew mission. Just an extra mission where you play as some of the original cast. Which you could have downloaded after the fact, but I don't really know what the point of that was, since like half the copies out there just had it built in. So whatever. Cool game. It's a very cool like survival horror type of game. Actually, funny thing about this, I did a video of this for Machinima, and actually I'll link the video there. It was a lot of fun. We're playing as Christopher Walken, you know, the celebrity, one of our walk-in-throughs that we do, and the video was fairly successful, and Lance Henriksen, who actually played Bishop in the original Alien film, saw it, liked it, and like retweeted it out, so that was kind of cool. But yeah, that's a cool game, but admittedly this is available on other platforms. And finally, Far Cry 4 Limited Edition. Far Cry 4, I love this game. Machinima sent this to us again for another video. I didn't expect to play that much of it because I hadn't played any of the other Far Crys. But this, I sat down and beat this like almost all the way through. I think I'm at like 95%, and the only parts I haven't done is there's like racing stuff in it that I don't really care about, but everything else, I've played it all the way through. I loved it. One of the, probably the most open world game experience I've ever had. You know, there's a huge map, and you can just go anywhere and do whatever. It was just a lot of fun. I really had a good time with it. The PS4 version, again, it's not an exclusive title, but it does have exclusive content. Not one that I care about, but I know it has better online capabilities, particularly the Keys to Curat feature, where if you have the game, and your friend has a PS4 but he doesn't have the game, you can let him have access to the game, and he can play it with you online at the same time for like 2 hours or something. I mean, granted, he has to download some files to make that happen, but they allow you to do that. So it was fun. I mean, again, that's not a feature I would use, but it is something, if you have a PS4, this is probably one worth picking up, unless you've already got it for something else. But yeah, so those are just some of my last minute recommendations for games as you're going into Christmas there. As for the consoles, congratulations to the Xbox One for beating out the competition in November. It outsold both of them. Both the Wii U and the PS4, largely because of that massive price cut, which continues until January, so if you want to get an Xbox One, pretty good time to still do that. I do know that despite them saying that they want to sell it around $350, there's a lot of places selling it down at like $330, $320. I think Target for a while was selling it for $330 and gave you a $50 gift card, which is a hell of a deal. And the Wii U, I know that as Best Buy is going to be selling the Wii U for, I think, $275, and it comes with Super Mario 3D World and Nintendo Land bundled together between December 20th and December 24th. Again, this is the United States. I don't know if this applies anywhere else. And Target is going to be selling that exact same bundle for $250 through the same dates. So if you want a Wii U, $250, Super Mario 3D World, Nintendo Land, not a bad deal at all. Unfortunately, there don't really seem to be any deals on PS4s. They seem to be about $400 pretty much everywhere, but they do come with extra stuff. They come with, there's a Grand Theft Auto bundle that comes with GTA 5 physical, and then a digital copy of The Last of Us Remastered. And there's also a Lego Batman bundle that comes with something else that I don't remember. Lego Batman, obviously. Lego Batman 3, and then something, but I don't remember what the other thing is. The cheapest one will be the Wii U if you go through that. I'm not going to lie, even though the Xbox One is my third favorite of the three, it has no doubt the best deal this holiday season. Very tempting offer. For some reason, I'm going around Black Friday looking, I'm like, oh, that's a really good deal. I should pick one up. No, you idiot, you have one. No, stop it. And then PS4, I'm very disappointed in its lack of deals. Again, even though I have one, I feel bad for you guys, because if you wanted one, Sony didn't offer you much in the way of bargains there. But if I were to recommend a bundle, it would probably be the Last of Us GTA 5 bundle. Again, Last of Us is digital, but at least you get the physical copy of GTA 5. So there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope this was in some way informative going into your final holiday crunch here. Again, if you're an American, probably won't help you anywhere else. But nevertheless, hope you enjoyed it. Hope it helped you out. Have a happy holidays. See you guys later.